this need to know when is this going to end? When do we get back to normal? When is this era going to end? When is life over? When is the day of judgment? All of these different things, right? So some of us right now are overwhelmed by this great sense of fitna, of tribulation, right? And there's this apocalyptic, aura that suddenly, it's all going to end. And we see the images that come out from Mecca and Medina and different parts of the world, and everything feeling pretty overwhelming. And it's like, okay, well, when is the end of the world? And if you look in the Quran, you'll find that there are many instances of people that needed to know when. Even the prophets themselves, right? In the midst of their moments of tribulation and trial, Mata Nasrullah, that things would get so difficult for some of the prophets and the messengers. And Allah gives this example, until the messenger, and those that are with the Rasul, those that are with the messenger, say, Mata Nasrullah, when is the help of Allah coming? When is it going to come? Allah also talks about this idea of people that are insisting on knowing when the day of judgment is. Okay? So they ask, Mata hadha al-wa'du in kuntum sadiqeen. When is the day of judgment? Right? If you're telling the truth. And the Prophet ﷺ, he says that even Jibreel alayhi salam, Gabriel himself, does not know when the day of judgment is. Right? So this need to know when the day of judgment is coming. And the Prophet ﷺ always turned this into a productive feeling, right? An understanding that was beyond that nagging feeling of knowing when. So when someone asked the Prophet ﷺ, when is the hour? When is the day of judgment? The Prophet ﷺ said, listen, he pointed to that young child, and he said that this young child, by the time this child lives to see gray hair, if you were to see that, or by the time this child has gray hair, you're going to pass away, you would have already met your day of judgment. Meaning whether or not the world ends is completely beyond you, right? I mean, it's beyond the Prophet ﷺ. Even he doesn't know. But your world might end tonight, okay? Your world might end any moment. So by the time this child has gray hair, your day of judgment would have come already anyway. So think productively about what to do with that feeling of when. And you find stories of great patience where, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, rahimahullah ta'ala, when he was in prison during his trial, and his son asked him, Mata raha, when is the end of this? When is relief? Mata raha, when is relief? And he said, Bi awwali khutwatin nakhtuha fil jannah, with the first step that we take into paradise. Meaning, if you're asking me, do I know when this prison sentence is going to end? I don't know. If you're asking me, do I know when I'm going to get to come back to my family? I don't know. But what I do know is that true raha, true relief, is going to be when we first set foot in paradise. And so I want to speak to this element just for a moment here of when. Right now you're seeing the CDC gives the regulation of 8 weeks, and then, it might be a year, it might be 6 months. And we're starting to go through all of these different timelines in our heads, and it can cause us great stress and great anxiety, because we're starting to think Ramadan, and then we're thinking, okay, well, the school year, and then what about next school year? Okay, if I have Hajj plans, or if I had summer plans, if I was going to go here or go there, what happens to this? What happens to that? And what I want us to do, inshallah, is to pull back for a moment and to appreciate that sabr, patience, is not about the wait. Patience is about how you wait. Patience is about the adab, the manner of with which you wait. Okay, you wait for the relief to come from Allah. You wait for that help to come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah did not tell the Prophet ﷺ when his mission would be fulfilled. Allah did not tell Ayyub alayhi salam, the Prophet Job, peace be upon him, when his trial was going to end. Allah did not tell Yusuf alayhi salam how long he was going to spend in prison. Because that is at the heart of what true patience is, what a beautiful patience is. Allah did not tell Jacob, Yaqub alayhi salam, when he would get his son back. But what Allah did do is he made a promise. He made them a promise, right? And so for us, that promise is not how many weeks it's going to be. It's not how many months it's going to be. That promise is that whatever we do in the midst of all of this is going to be rewarded and compensated accordingly. That promise is that eventual relief comes to everyone. whether that relief is worldly or whether that relief is in the hereafter, which is the time of ultimate relief for the believer. But that relief is coming. That raha will be there. But the test is not knowing when. You know, subhanAllah, if you think about your moment right now, and that's actually the point of shifting lens and perspective. I want you to think about what you have right now and to say alhamdulillah for what you have right now. You know, you might be quarantined, but in the midst of being quarantined, you have family, or in the midst of being quarantined, you have health. You have something that you might not have in 8 weeks or 12 weeks or 6 months when this is all lifted. But you still have something that is special and that makes this moment worth it. And so it's important for us to not get so stuck in the when. And when you're reading the news constantly and it's like, it's going to be this many weeks and experts predict it's going to be this long and experts predict this is going to happen and experts predict this is going to happen. The only expert who I care about when it comes to this is Allah, right? God knows when it's all going to end. He knows when we're all going to return back to normalcy, whatever that looks like. And Allah knows if we're even going to live to see the end of this. But what we do know is that we have a lot to do. We have a lot to stay productive with. And that patience, a beautiful patience, is in the manner of waiting, not in the wait itself. So beautiful patience is to just focus on the moment. Seize the moment. Do what you can in the moment. Stop asking when. Stop being obsessed with when. Stop considering the possibilities of when. Just know that at the end of it, there is ease. Right? Innama usri yusra. With hardship comes ease. Allah did not tell the Prophet ﷺ how many years it would take. With hardship comes ease. I fully believe that there is ease at the end of this. That ease might be in this life and in the hereafter, but it will certainly be in the hereafter. It will certainly be in the hereafter. And my certainty is in that. And my certainty is that Allah, God, will not let this moment go without me finding something beneficial to occupy myself with, inshallah ta'ala, so that I can enjoy the moment and I can focus and do good and not be so obsessed with when. So stop asking when. Don't get too obsessed with when. Don't get paralyzed by all the news of how many months are there. You know, we're thinking about, you know, when is it going to end before Ramadan, or how much longer in Ramadan, or are we going to have the last week of Ramadan? Who told you that you're going to live to see Ramadan in the first place, right? So focus on the moment. Focus on connecting to Allah now instead of waiting to Ramadan. You shouldn't have been waiting for Ramadan in the first place, right? Who told you that's going to happen in the first place? So just like the Prophet ﷺ answered that man when he said, when is the day of judgment? And he told him, look, you know, by the time that kid has gray hair, you would have met your day of judgment anyway. And just like Allah answered the Prophet, when the prophets would ask Allah, when is relief coming? That it is coming, right? But not giving a timeline. Likewise, let's not get too caught up in the timeline, and instead let's make the most of the moment, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure you all from your illnesses. May Allah allow you to get through these hard moments with ease and with an added layer of faith and an added layer of perspective. May Allah allow this to be a time that we get closer to Him and get closer to the people that are important to us in our lives that maybe we haven't been paying attention to. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to redevelop our relationship with the Quran. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to think about those that were so vulnerable before this all happened that maybe we've neglected, but perhaps now we develop some sort of an empathy for. So may Allah enable us to do good for them and to do good for them, but ultimately for His sake always. And may Allah grant us the best ending, husn al-khitam, and allow us to pass this test with flying colors and allow us to have beautiful patience throughout all of this. Allahumma ameen.